I was waiting outside and people were passing by asking, how do you get here? How do you become a presidential director? How do you get to team lead? How to be you po? I learned that you don't just get here. You actually have to be doing things with intent. You have to be molded first into the kind of person that gets to achieve something like this. So presidential director actually is more of a byproduct than anything. It starts out as a goal, but it's a byproduct of your work ethic. It's a byproduct of your character. It's a byproduct of your qualities as an entrepreneur. So although there is no shortcut to success, I'm going to attempt to spare you from the guesswork and the confusion by giving you the 3 qualities that I believe will help you thrive and withstand anything, not just in this business, but in life as well. Number 1, you have to be resilient. You're going to hear a lot of success stories from people who made a lot of money really quick, got here very, very fast, but wisdom doesn't come in how fast you get here, but it's in your longevity as an entrepreneur. Most people in the company actually just heard of me in 2016 when I started, going really crazy on social media. But what most people don't know is that I actually started in 2011 and I had to submit my letter of intent 3 times, which means I lost my organizations twice and I had to start from scratch twice. I also kept that as a secret from my dad, who's here today. Sorry. I actually just started doing well 3 years ago. But something like that is enough for the average person to quit. But be resilient. Learn how to put your game face on and stare at that difficult moment in the face and say, you're not going to get the best of me, and then try again. It's in those moments of trying again and not being broken in momentary defeat that you develop resilience. I actually have a lot more respect for someone who has failed miserably over the course of a few years than someone who has an overnight success story, because it's not in how many wins you have or how fast you got there, but it's in the kind of impact and influence and longevity you have as an entrepreneur. So be resilient. Number 2, you have to have confidence. Confidence to do what? Confidence to try, confidence to do, and confidence to start again. And I'm gonna give you a secret. Competence breeds confidence, all right? So confidence comes from knowing what you're doing and then knowing you're good at it. So when I started social media, I knew that videos were going to be a big part of how I was going to stand out, but I was so uncomfortable. I made 3 or 4 or 5 painful to watch videos, so awkward. I sucked, basically. My best friend is here, so she can attest to how awkward I was, but I had to do it because I knew. So I did it over and over again until the fan page had 100 videos, and then it gained attention. Then it wasn't too long until I got invitations to speak and teach people on stage. Then it was a crowd of 100, and then 1,000, 2,000, 7,000, and then 17,000. I wasn't good at teaching because I didn't have the patience to explain things, so I wasn't good at it, but you gotta do what you gotta do to help. So the business changes you in so many ways. You don't just manifest confidence out of nothing. If you want to be good at something, you have to keep working on it. So if you want to be good at sales, then you have to explore all the ways that you can sell. You have to keep talking to people every day. Get rejected every day, learn every question, rejection, objection, and have an answer to every single one. To the point of when anyone throws a question at you, there's no one question that you can't answer. Master your products, master your product recommendations, list all of the problems, have a solution for each problem. When you know what you're doing, you're never nervous. Have confidence. Number 3, you have to be innovative. Okay, this is arguably maybe the hardest of all the 3, Because have you ever heard of the quote, to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower? Have you heard of that? Okay. There's a lot more to that quote than you think. Because today when we say that quote, we interpret that as you have to subscribe to a certain guideline or the beliefs of a certain mentor to be able to lead. But when Aristotle said that quote in his time, it was in a different context. Aristotle said that quote, and you can Google this. When we say that quote today, it's actually incomplete. He said, to be a good leader, you have to be a good followers of the plight, the journey, the concerns, and the progress of the people you serve. And as Nu Skin leaders, who do we serve? Who do we teach? Who do we lead? Our teams. So that involves practical wisdom, which is a prerequisite to moral excellence. Moral excellence, you've heard some speeches tonight, so you know we really hold that in high regard. Practical wisdom means that you have to lead without ego, because you can discern what is good for your team, even if, and help them achieve that, even if it doesn't really mean that it's your own guidelines, it's your own beliefs. That's what the quote really meant at the time. So now it means a little different to us, doesn't it? I mean, if you're gonna quote the man, Aristotle is this one independent thinker in history who said the earth is a sphere when everybody else thought that the earth was flat. I mean, so he was an independent thinker. So that's why he said that. But I can get why people say that you need a mentor. I had one, because if you don't have the skills or the background to do this, it's hard to not have someone to learn the basics from. And I had one in my sponsor, Robert Velhagen, and we're very, very close. And the day he said, you can go and figure it out and teach us, when you figure out this whole social media thing, that day he was a good follower, because he saw the signs, he saw what I was good at, he saw the signs, where the signs were pointing, and he followed it. I have no knowledge of this. This is currently not what I believe we should be doing, but let's follow what she's good at. He was a good follower that day, and I am proud to be called his mentee. I chose my mentor well, because that's what a good leader looks like. So I'm gonna give you a hand. Thank you. That was the most loving and the most supportive thing you've ever done for me. Just because you want to be independent doesn't mean you're ungrateful for the people who help you. So thank you so much. I want to thank my parents, my mom and my dad, my sponsor, my team. I'm so proud of you. My first Blue Diamond, or Executive Brand Director, Grace. My social media staff, Abby, thank you. George, my best friend Z, thank you so much. To all of us, there is a bright future where we can work together in resilience, confidence, and innovation. So let's go. Thank you.
Oh, no.